on, Mike. All right, you guys, so this is what we didn't show on camera. We have two beautiful bay geldings that didn't come from Jacob, and I just couldn't say no. Will you grab the other one too, and let's tie him? The other one. So we have 3 total, 4. We have 3, 4. The shoulder horse makes 4. The bay horse that is in Gus's stall.
I put up the chestnut. That bay horse I put down there.
You swapped them.
Yeah, I swapped them. He's
Okay, Emma, will you do me a favor and grab him? Also, here shortly, we're going to do some cat photos, just so you're prepared. But you need to pick a color. I don't know what color you wanted.
Oh, where are they at?
They're in the truck, but we'll grab you one. Did you see what colors we have? We'll show them to you. Okay. That's not a right now thing. Yeah, perfect. Y'all can grab him. Actually, Emma, if you'll just grab me Slingshot. Slingshot's right here. Okay, you guys, so I need everybody to like, comment, and share this video because this is me being me. So as most of you guys know, when you're in an industry, you start to make friends with people in your industry. It's something that I never did before, and I ended up trading effort off for a really cool halflinger named Claire. And while I was there, or while they were here, they had this gelding on their truck that they had purchased at the sale and missed the 24-hour deadline to return him because he was cataloged. And basically he was either going to be traded around doped up, or he was going to be traded around doped up, or he was going to go to slaughter. Well, I ended up kind of dealing with the same situation and bought a pony and a cart and ended up with 2 more horses that were going to slaughter due to no fault of their own because they needed some help. And I did this last year with a couple of horses and really enjoyed it, and we were able to really find them amazing homes. So I want to introduce you guys to these horses, but listen, I really need support right now from my following because Jacob is not living for me hoarding horses that need to be rehabilitated. So this is Slingshot. He is a 9-year-old finished reiner. He has been day worked on. He is show caliber. My Emma, my gorgeous little intern here is fixing to, we're going to pick their feet out, all 3 of them, and actually treat their feet. And we're going to talk about supplementation that these horses need. So basically, Jacob has said to me that I have collected, at this point, too many horses that are needing rehab. And I told him, it's not going to cost you anything. My tribe will step up, I promise. So I really need help if I've ever needed it right now because he's not living for this. He wants to cut them loose off of the feed bill. So this is Slingshot. Again, Slingshot's a 9-year-old reiner. He has also been roped on and used. All the dogs are playing. This is a brand new gelding that we just got in. And listen, this is the most sane, good boy. He's going to be somebody's forever life companion. But his feet are so bad. And upon talking to a couple of vets, I sent photographs. They said this is gross neglect. Like, this foot has broken off to the point that the outside and the inside aren't even the same size because somebody just turned him out in the pasture, probably on fresh grass, let him grass founder. And here's the great thing, that doesn't necessarily mean it's chronic. Like, he's not, it means that maybe we can get ahead of it. But this horse is going to probably need 5 months of rehabilitation to grow these feet all the way out. But I just couldn't say no to him. Like, knowing that he was on a kill truck at another kill pen, going to slaughter, he was the one I just couldn't say no to. I was like, man, that horse is pulling at my heart so badly. Jacob was furious. He's like, you know, I don't mind when you come home from a different kill pen with a horse that you're like, hey, we're going to ride it and resell it in 2 weeks. He was like, but when you go, is he? No, I'm not. I'm talking about the bay horse that you rode out here that. No, he's not. They only had 4 numbers.
Oh, okay.
Yes. You know, yes. But yes, we did. Yeah, bring him. Yeah, okay. Okay, you guys. So, sorry. She was like, wait a minute. I think I have the wrong horse. I went down there. She does. It's okay. It's no problem. she was going to bring me the gelding with the shoulder, but y'all already know about him. So we all know about Slingshot. So we call him Rudy, just because it was kind of a joke, you guys. I told Jacob, you don't have to be rude to me. Like, you're being rude. When I told him that I found a gelding that was at another kill pen, and when I went to, you know, pick something else up, like, I just had to have him. Like, they literally had him fixing to run him down the lane to chip and tag him for slaughter, and I was like, I can't. Like, he's the only one besides this one that pulled at my heartstrings. Now, here's the cool thing about him. This horse was also not sound, and they were shipping him for slaughter, but after we got him here, just from like having his feet cleaned out, will you take him outside? Let's jog him. We'll show him. He is actually, I think this horse had an abscess. I don't think, how sad is that this thing almost died? And Jackie will tell you, he was like more than head bobbing lame. He was like, he couldn't even walk. He was walking with a limp. And now look at him. Like, we are getting so much better. And I think he had a really bad abscess. Now, this is still a little stiff. I think that he's probably had some issues. But that right there kind of had a little like leakage out of it. I think there were abscesses behind that stress fracture, and I think they're starting to come out. But again, Jacob is so like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you're collecting these horses, and why? And I'm like, because they were going to slaughter. This horse was, you can see where he was in there, and look where all the other horses had been like getting him. And I just wanted to keep him off the truck. I was like, there's not a ton of them that pull at my heart. Like, we have 200 horses here. But when somebody else has kill horses and they don't advertise them to the public and they send them straight to slaughter, and you see their face, for me, it's like crisis mode. Like, I would be the crazy person that would fundraise for all 40 of them. I had to not do that to myself. And I had to take control of the way we do things so that I could sleep at night. That's the honest to God truth. So this gelding here is fantastic, and he's going to keep getting better and keep getting better. And this gelding right here, I think, will continue to get better. I mean, the main thing we need to do is we need to get him out of these shoes, cut that toe back, and get a wedge on him so that we can start getting circulation to those feet properly and start getting him to really use that heel. And we're fixing to theraplate these horses. Well, the thing is, Gene, my husband is still a kill buyer too. So what made my husband mad is not only do I buy them for money, but when they come here, they cost us money to rehabilitate. And if he, you know, still has to ship them, he gets very angry because I've thrown a lot of good money after bad. So I just told him, here's the deal. It's not going to cost you anything. Like, I took the Deuter fund and paid for them, so your operating capital is not wrapped up in them. And he's like, yeah, but you don't have the upkeep cost. Like, the upkeep cost is going to come out of my pocket, so you need to figure it out. And I'm like, that's why I have the Wild Tribe. Those ladies are horse heroes. And I hope you guys can see that a lot of times when you go and really great quality horses are being shipped to slaughter, they're fixable. Like, these are very broke, very, very, very solid, good horses, but they are going to need somebody that's not afraid to address their issues. So the one thing that we're going to need is I need 3 bags of Equibone. Yeah. And it's what, $2.99, I think. $299 a bag. And I will show it to you because we have a bag that was sent last year for another horse that we ended up selling, and she was like, you know what, I already support circulation, concentrated for bone joint health, provides daily support requirements. You do 2 scoops a day, give in addition to daily grain. 1 scoop is a 4-ounce measure. So we had this in a safe place because it's so expensive. So we're gonna start them on it, but I want you guys to kind of see what it is. Ingredients. So what we're gonna do with this is we're gonna get them started twice a day on this. And another product that we really, really, really need, because we have one of $2.92. We need 3 of these. We need CEP Hoof RX, because we give this 2 scoops a day in the morning in conjunction with that. So I have 1 bucket and we can start all 3 of them. But what we need are people that really, really love a certain horse, and you're like, listen, I want to help Slingshot or Rudy. And what are we going to name him? He reminds me of Gus so much. No, Gus, we already have a Gus.
Yeah, I know.
But I'm saying he reminds me of Gus. They look alike. They look alike. They have the same demeanor.
Woodrow.
Woodrow, yeah?
From Lonesome Dove.
Yeah. Or Call.
Call. Should I call him Call?
Yeah. Yeah. What was the boy's name? Oh, we already have a Luke. Yeah, we already have a Luke.
Yeah.
Yeah, Woodrow is not a bad name for him. Gus and Woodrow. Because he look, but I mean, like, Gus has less white, but they just, and they're, Susan, we prefer, honestly, with the pellets or the powder, it's kind of apple and oranges. We would love to have both, and let us tell you why. The powder we can make into a drench if we have a horse that's not eating good. So we would love to at least have 1 powder. So if anything stops eating good with the heat, we can drench it. But the pellet is actually a little bit better because it mixes, and we just mix it in the top of the feed. So don't get me wrong. We absolutely love the pellet. But if somebody would send powder, that would be absolutely amazing for us, because at the end of the day, that is easier for us to mix with apple cider vinegar and gut check and shake up and make a paste if for some reason, and we have a 65cc thing, and we break it into it makes 3 drenches, but the powder is easier for us to make a paste if we have a horse that's not eating. And you have to remember, Woodrow, and we can call him Woody for short. Woody, Rudy, and Slingshot. So I have used Farrier's formula, and it's just, unfortunately, not better than Hoof RX, Penny. It's a great product. Farrier's formula really is a great product, and if you are in a pinch and need to run to Tractor Supply, it's very affordable. But the Hoof RX is 10 times better. So the Hoof RX, I think, is around $100 for 3 months. She said I didn't do it. This is not a product. This mane was like this, and Jackie didn't do it. Jackie didn't do it.
Not me.
Brooke, I just don't do anything with Elkhart. It's none of my business, genuinely. Like, I just do not do Elkhart. No offense, I don't want to know what's at their facility. And I feel like I don't bring horses from the kill pen, from Jacobs or anyone else's to my facility that I feel like are mercy pools. I don't do that because I feel like slaughter is the mercy pool. Oh my God, Squidward would have been funny. Oh my God, that's not. Look, maybe we should call him Squidward. He has a squid on his face. Yeah. He does have, no, that's a jellyfish.
That's a jellyfish.
That's a jellyfish. I think Woody is perfect, but that is a jellyfish.
I'm still calling him Woodrow.
Listen, what we're going to do is we have these horses right here that we need to video, and so we're running behind.
Which one's he? What did we name him?
Rudy.
Rudy?
Rudy. Slingshot, Rudy, and Woody.
Woodrow.
Woodrow. Yeah, Woody. I'm sticking with Woody. So we're fixing to make a list, and I'm serious, you guys. Like, Jacob is going to murder me because this is $10,000 worth of rehabilitation.
Easy.
He's gonna fucking kill me. I'm gonna be single, and it's gonna be a shit show. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm serious, you guys. Like, I know that people that are anti-slaughter in these moments are what kill me, because listen, they are the people that scream no slaughter, no slaughter. But then when horses like this are pulled, like, these horses need help. Like, you can't scream anti-slaughter, anti-slaughter, and then do nothing to help. And then they'll say, oh, well, I only help rural rescues. This is rural rescue. These horses were on the slaughter truck. But I want for you guys to see the difference. These are the quality of horses that I believe are headed to slaughter due to no fault of their own,
Yeah.
that I feel are appropriate pulls. I don't do mercy pulls. I don't do the pulls where the horse has a broke leg. Like, listen, that's what slaughter's for. And there are so many people that get so upset with me because I'm like, slaughter is the last act of kindness. Like, you know what? It should be done here in the United States, so the horse only has to go, like it used to be in
50
Kaufman.
miles.
Yeah, it used to be in Kaufman. It could only be on the trailer for an hour and a half. Now, the animal activists who are anti-slaughter have forced it into Mexico. They're still going, but now they're riding 20 hours on a trailer, you know, by the time, and they have to get to the border, unload, reload, take chance of being injured. And because every time you unload and reload bulk livestock, it's a shit show. Slaughter needs to come back to the U.S. because at the end of the day, death is not perfect. Death is not peaceful. Yes, lots of horses need their suffering ended, but not these. These horses are young and have so much life left. And they're the kind of horse that I don't believe we're going to have reoccurring. Rudy, this horse right here, he's just a baby. He's just a baby. Just so y'all know, he's 5 to 6 years old. 5 to 6 years old. This horse is 9. This horse is a 9-year-old. This gorgeous, gorgeous boy is one of my favorites. And again, we're at 6 years old. I mean, maybe coming 7, like 6 coming 7. That's just where this was a cap. Yeah. And when that cap shed when he was 5, it broke off in the gum and nobody's done his teeth. But he does have wolf teeth, unfortunately. And they are big. Yeah, right there under the skin. So this horse right here is just a 6 coming into being a 7-year-old. So we have a 9-year-old, a 7-year-old, a 5 to 6-year-old. So when you have horses of that age that are broke to death, one hand fancy, spin around, brokest horse you ever own, have had thousands upon thousands of dollars in training, and they have this quiet of a demeanor, these are what you save from slaughter to rehabilitate. Of course, there are going to be other people that say they all deserve to be saved. That's probably your opinion, and that's fine. We just don't have the room or the funds here to do that. So this is what I originally was going to create the Performance Horse Rescue Network for, and it was for horses like this. I love a good deuter. I literally, Heather said, my dumbass isn't getting notifications. It's going to be a day. She's on the JT Livestock commenting. So if you see it, it's not me, it's Heather. So these are the horses to me that were my main focus because there's so much to do here. Like, there's so much that we can do with these horses. There's so much life left. They just need to be rehabilitated. I feel like Slingshot probably needs to be x-rayed. I think he has mild low ring bone. The best thing about that is, depending on the x-rays, we can absolutely nerve him. He will be pain-free and then start regenerative therapy to make that sound. This horse right here just needs to be reshod in a correct manner for what he has going on. He probably needs to be put in some rockers. Maybe he might be a candidate for nerving now in the heels so that he's sounder while his feet heal. But you have to remember that nerving is not a solution. Nerving just means that they won't live in pain while you rehabilitate what's going on so that the feet and the quality of their feet grow out correctly because they're using themselves correctly. And this horse here, we've pretty much got him sound. He was 10 out of 10 lame, head bobbing at a walk, and now trotting to a circle one direction. He's a 5. He's a 5. So we're already like head and shoulders. Be careful with that. I don't want to use it.
Oh, I didn't know if I would use it.
You might be able to, but I'm funny about drenching stuff, like where you pour it on. And are we out of fly spray? There were gallons in there. Okay. There were 2 gallons left, but I'll put fly spray on the please send list if we really need it. I'm funny about pour on. I told her that.
Yeah, I'll do it online, but I usually use Rockies.
Yeah, that might be okay.
Rockies are a good result.
So we have Woodrow, Woody. We have Rudy. And you guys, honestly, how could we say no? Like, how could you go to somebody's kill pen to pick up another animal and see him and not say, hey, what about that one? And they say, you don't want it for sure. I think it's been foundered. It definitely needs to go to slaughter. Like, how could you not just look at him. I just couldn't. I mean, there was 100 horses there to be shipped to slaughter, and like there's no way I could have gone home at night and slept leaving him behind. It was hard enough to not shop their entire pen, but he was just the one, like, he nickered at us. He was like, hey, best friend, don't fucking leave me. And when we got in the truck, Jackie was like, I'll give up my salary if that will help, and for a week. And I'm like, no, I'm not taking your salary. So we have like Jackie willing to like not get paid. We literally could not leave him there. So I brought him home. I have deplenished the Deuter fund. We don't have $1 fucking left. We are broke bitches. Do y'all hear me? The Wild Tribe is at aught. But we have a Slingshot, and we have a Rudy, and we have a Woody, and we have our black Deuter with the hurt shoulder. So we have, we're rich in horses. We are just broke in money. And I'm telling you guys, please tell me that you agree that you couldn't have left him behind. And then I couldn't leave that thing behind. We were there to pick up something else, and then we came home with 2. Just like I went to get the pony and came home with another one. And then, of course, Slingshot, I just literally took in on trade, and Jacob was going to kill me. He was like, I cannot believe that he was like, I understand trading for the halflinger. I was like, it got thrown in. It was like a bonus. He was like a bonus. Look at him. Do you see him moving? He's moving to me because he wants this. We have not really named the black Deuter. We just call him Dude. And it's so funny because he's young too. But this right here is what makes me be so mad at humans. Do you see that? That is a saddle sore. That means somebody has rode this horse so hard, utilized the fuck out of him, and then when he was not perfect, they dumped him. You want to see what's sad? Those are like war badges to me. Those are like Purple Hearts. I've always called saddle sores Purple Hearts because, like, you know that son of a bitch has put in a hard day's work for somebody. Like, they've probably been day work horses. They have roped bulls, drug them on the trailer. They have had to do all the stuff and things. But we have saddle sores. This horse has dual saddle sores. His are the worst of the 3. I mean, he's got serious saddle sores. This horse has this one, of course, on this side. And I don't know if he has one on the other side. Nope, just on one side. But those are... My heart is a little different because people will say I don't love horses. I've had people say mean things in the past, like, if you notice, when she starts saving, she only saves horses that are going to have a lot of monetary value later on. Like, they try to act like it's about the money for me, but it's not really, even from poor fitting saddles, to be completely honest. Those saddle sores, you can have the best fitting saddle, but if you day work on a horse, you're going to get a saddle sore because they are literally roping, 1,200 to 2,000 pound. This horse has dual saddle sores. They're roping such big bulls and having to rope feral cows that run, and they're having to rope them at a dead run and then jerk them. And that just forces those saddles into those withers, no matter what pad or blanket or saddle. With day work horses, unfortunately, I just have a lot of friends that borrow the PEMF machine or bring their day work horses up to TheraPlate because those horses have such a rough life, like genuinely a rough life. So what I say is, again, how can you not? Like, did you see that face? How could you leave him? How could you drive away from somebody's kill pen and not have been like, hey, what about the bay? And they're like, you don't want him. He's fucking crippled. He's a cull. And you're like, yeah, I'll take him. How could you not? How could you not? Look at that face and his demeanor. How could you not? And they're unproblematic. Like, these horses are less problematic and have better behavior than 90% of the horses that come in. It's not their fault that somebody totally used and abused them. Yeah, they were somebody's good horse. That's what pisses me off, is all 3 of these were somebody's good horse. You can tell. Like, they are in good flesh. They were being taken care of, but the moment that they were a little bit off, they just called them for slaughter and moved on to another one. They all do. I couldn't leave this one. I couldn't leave. This one? Hi, sweet man. And then this horse I just threw in on that trade because he didn't need to be traded around. He needed to be fixed. I think this horse is going to have to be nerve and correctively shod. I think this horse is going to have to be nerve and correctively shod. And I think that horse needs to just literally have his shoulders injected, because I think his shoulders are where he's actually the sorest. And I think that he needs to be shod a little better. And then he just probably needs the osteopath. So I don't think he's a navicular nerve case. I don't think this horse is navicular. I think he was just foundered. And what we need to do is get these shoes off of him. And you know what? We may be able to get him in some wedges and completely fix this. We actually may be able to get him in some wedges and do way more for him than anything else. But that is just where, I mean, you can see why that foot is a problem. I mean, it's this big on the outside and that little on the inside. And we've got to get the integrity of that hoof to grow out so that foot can stand back up so the coffin bone is supported. Nice. Nice, Woody. Hey, let's put the big loops across that horse's shoulders, because I think his shoulders are his issue. Hi, Rudy. Whoo, he has never been in here before. Look, he was like, hey, the ground is moving. I just love that he's not gonna like spook or be bad, but he's scared. Yeah. I mean, the ground starts shaking. Look at him. He's like, hey, you guys, this, he's like, hey, Emma, do you know that this is going on? All three of them need Miss Kathy. Miss Kathy has gone up to $200 a piece. It's $600. But if anybody wanted to donate osteopath appointments, like, I am not on the Tara Michelle Sanders page. I am on just the JT Livestock page, because this is about horses. So Rudy here definitely needs Kathy. Definitely are going to need some wedges. And then we have Woodrow. I think this horse is on the verge of being sound. We've got him there. We just need to keep letting those feet grow and just maybe inject his shoulders just to get the inflammation out of them. And that horse, I really feel like if we nerved him, it would help him. But I don't want to nerve him until we have x-rays and maybe put some corrective shoes on him, because I think his feet need to grow out appropriately. I think they have allowed him to be really long-toed and underslung. I don't know if you guys can see this foot, but I mean, again, they have allowed the heel to get so low that the toe is almost up off the ground. So it's stressing the deep digital flexor tendon, and that's painful also. That's why he stands balancing with his back feet up under him a little more, because his front feet, he's trying to get the weight off of his front feet. But I do want to start him on everything as well. I just really want to do Equibone heavy with him, because I feel like the deep digital flexor tendon might be a little bit of a problem with the way that his feet rock. And this horse right here, I feel like, you know what's funny though? Here, buddy, let me see this foot. Oh, no. I have on flip-flops. He's afraid to pick his foot up. Okay, so he's not in danger of like rotating through or anything. He's got a ton of sole and he's not soft. You know, I love all colors. Of course, I just also love the bays, of course. But I said I love all colors, but I do love the bays. Yeah, I mean, I love all. Brooke, I think if you day work and that's something that you do by trade, I think it's important to take those horses, you know, monthly for chiropractic adjustments. I think if you have one, I would even do quarterly, so 4 times a year, an osteopath, and still do chiropractic. But I would also incorporate for sure osteopathy and chiropractic. I think that I have a guy here local that about once a week he'll say, hey, I know it's late, it's like midnight, I'm coming in from the sale, do you mind if I stop by your house and pulse my horses? And he knows how. So he literally just stops in here and will put his two horse, one on here for like 30 minutes and do a full body pulse on the other one, and then he swaps them out. So he's here for about 1 hour, and he keeps his horses. I recommended Impact 4 for his horses, and he messaged me the other day and literally told me that the Impact 4 is the best thing he ever did for his horses, that they work harder, they've gained muscle. He's like, I will never, ever, ever make a living on a horse and not keep them on Impact 4. So if you've been looking for a joint supplement for like your good horse, and you are like, I think it's like $179 for 3 months, if I'm not mistaken, maybe right around $200. But again, that's for 90 days, I believe. There's 1 bucket of Impact 4 in there. Emma, will you grab it? It's up on the shelf. I had 4 buckets and I'm down to 1 because my barrel horses stay on it when I haul. It's good shit. Yeah, for sure. So one thing I want for you guys to know is that I really genuinely feel like this Impact 4. Now, these horses are not there yet. We still need to do real rehabilitation with Equibone. But once they get rehabbed for maintenance, it's up here. It was up here. I had 1 bucket of it left up there. Yeah, there was that. Yeah, because all of my CEP stuff is, and I have a little No Drama Hofar X. The Protected is fantastic. Of course, we love the Gut Check. Oh, fantastic. Okay, so all right, you guys, this is the Total Impact 4. It provides 10,000 mgs of chondroitin sulfate, provides lysine and creatine, turmeric, boswellia, devil's claw, hyaluronic acid, MSM, glucosamine, feeding 2 scoops per day for 14 days and then 1 scoop a day thereafter. And does this say, okay, so feed 1 scoop a day, and I'm pretty sure that this is a 90-day supply for 1 scoop a day, or it's like 2.5 months if you have to do the loading dose. So, and it shows you hyaluronic acid, glucosamine, MSM, chondroitin sulfate, lysine, creatine, turmeric, and devil's claw. Directions: feed 1 level scoop per 900 to 1,200 pounds of body weight. So I do 2 scoops for 14 days and then back down to 1 after 14 days. So that's just probably the best product on the market, you guys, if you have a horse that really needs a little maintenance. And I'm telling you, who did?
My dad just found
Hi, Dad. Yeah.
And he's all like, I'm like, this one. I'm like,
He's sold.
And I'm like,
Sold. We have been selling horses like hotcakes. We have 1 going to Scotland and 1 going to Australia. Sold 1 this morning, going to be an Aussie, which is fantastic. Both horses fly from Equiflight. So thank you so much, Katie, for helping my customers to get, international quarantine and all of that. And so we have, I love that we're selling horses like internationally pretty frequently now. That's
so cool that we got one going to Scotland. Like,
Scotland. Well, the one going to Australia this morning is going to be really cool. And then I have a lady that has been calling about Lena a lot.
not Lena?
And she is from Nova Scotia. Yeah. She's going to try to buy him on the...
Yes.
Squirt said Nova Scotia.
I will take a road trip.
Oh, so basically I have 2 Facebooks because in case one's in Facebook jail, I have the other to be able to... So I go to Facebook jail sometimes. So one will be in Facebook jail, and the other one, make sure you untie him first. Put it back. If he were to run backwards, he would just break all of that and tear it down and scare himself. So just always make sure you do the butt bar before you back him out. There we go. Perfect. So, yeah, it's a spice. What's a spice? Oh, turmeric. Oh, I know, but I'm going to call it turmeric. They're like, it's turmeric, and I'm like, it's turmeric. Just like I say butt and herbs all the time. I'll be like, hey, hand me the herbs. Chaps. Some people say chaps, and I'm like, no, but I'm going to let them do tomato, huh?
I can't say.
Yesterday?
Yeah, yesterday.
Empath. I'm empathic. And they're like, it's NPIF. They're like, it's wrong. And I'm like, oh,
That
God.
makes that big of a deal that you don't come to me.
All right, boy. And then we will, if you want to just, yeah, just tie him right here to the hay bag, but from the outside. He really could have got a couple more minutes, but he's really walking so much better than when he unloaded. Like, this is 100 times better than when he unloaded. He was gonna die, I thought, when we unloaded him. So, turmeric is a spice, but let's be really honest, it's also amazing for anti-inflammatory. That's the main thing. I mean, it is a fantastic anti-inflammatory. All right, you guys, so we're going to continue the rehab on these 3. Hold on, move the hose. Let's go ahead and, yep, just slide them back just a touch. It's okay. Yep. Yes. My pickup? I don't think so. But the keys are probably either in it. The truck's not locked, so the keys might be in it. If not, the keys are in my Jeep. Penny, I love that. Please send us pictures. I love. We had a Palomino that came in really poor. Jesus. Do you think this horse has some inflammation in him? That is low. It's very low. It's very low in his entire body. That's from inflammation. Inflammation and stagnant energy. But I'll just tell you that regardless of how you say it and how I say it, let's be really honest, turmeric is such a fantastic anti-inflammatory. It is very, very important. Oh yeah, Bramers. Brahman and Bramer, yeah. Yeah. Well, anytime we go up north, they're like, oh, do you have Brahman cattle? And I'm like, we have Bramers. Yeah. Everything on our place has too much ear. Yeah. And a fucking hump. You're right. I just call them humpies. I don't even call him Bramer because we have so many crossbred F1s. I'm like, is it a humpy? And Jacob's like, yeah, it is. And I'm like, okay. But all right, you guys, we are gonna work these horses, and then we will ride what's on the walker, and we're gonna be done for the day. But I think that these are fantastic horses. So we, the Deuter fund is broke, but I will make a list. I have a Deuter fund that originally we fundraised like $3,500 and bought a horse, and I resold him. We bought 2 actually, and I resold them, and I was able to put $5,000 back in the Deuter fund, and I've never fundraised the Deuter fund again. Like, we've used the Wild Tribe After Hour profit, and then we've raised some upkeep cost, but I've never had to really fundraise for that fund. But I mean, these horses depleted the. At one point, I think the Deuter fund got up to 8,000, but like these horses have depleted it because like Chico was on the Deuter fund, and we did a draw and basically just got the funds back, and then the upkeep of them regularly is a lot. So, long story short, we had gone from 3,500, we had worked our way up profit wise to about 8,000, but we are broke. There's six Deuters total here. So that's, I mean, at 8. Oh, I loved the green. I loved it.
Okay, sorry to everybody on Facebook yesterday. I didn't dig in the box.
Yeah, we have a green and a burgundy. Look at the green. I don't know. I still like the splatter hat.
Oh, I need to. The what?
The splatter hat.
The black.
Her plate one. The one that she.
Yes, I like that one. I also like my leopard.
Yes, I do too. Yeah. And I just have the black one, and Tinley has the pink one. Oh, my poor little ear. I do love the way these hats fit. I love the way they fit. I love that they're vented in the back, and I love the classy, like, cursive of livestock. Like, who in the world has livestock in cursive? Me. That's you. It does. It is like perfect. It is like JT Livestock Company.
And then you're gonna get a little mini cart and a mini pony.
I have it.
I know, I saw it. We pulled up to the hay, and I just like kind of planted it a lot in my head.
Yes.
You know how to put the harness on. sit. Hi,
We can even get the little jog cart out and go for a ride.
He's inside still. Oh, he's inside? Okay.
Bear is just enjoying being the only wet blanket.
I thought so.
I woke up this morning and that fool was in my bed on me.
Oh, I got woke up at 3:30 this morning to a nose right here, licking me, going, Mom, wake up. And I'm like,
Karen, it's a guy. He is a boy. He's in this pin. The dude.
yes.
Hey, will you go grab dude, please? Thank you. Yeah, we'll go grab dude. We are going to put the hats online. I know Bear was just wanting to know what he tasted like. Let's be honest. Do not act like you love horses. Yeah. Oh, anything lays down, Bear is in for the warm dinner. And I'm like, that's how you know. I mean, I love Bear, but if I were to die, I think he would eat me. I mean, it's just natural instinct.
But you will forever be with me while you're in my GI Joe.
Yes. Yes. I just laugh and tell people he just wants his dinner served warm, but the truth is Bear really is. Hey, let's go ahead and put this horse on I don't know why we didn't.
He's been on his airplane before.
It does not, it never hurts, just FYI.
No, I'm just letting you know that
Yeah.
he did.
Okay, well, we'll grab Duder and put him on it. I just want you guys to know, we're not a 501c3, but we still do a ton of rescue here. I love this horse. I love Sumo so much. Look how beautiful Sumo has gotten. This horse is just gaining weight and getting bigger and bigger, and Tylen keeps not riding him, and I know what's coming. And pulse the Duder while that's fine. Is that horse, if you want to drape him over his hips, I would do him over his SI and then pull him around this horse. Slingshot. I would go ahead and pull him because see how he's standing camped under? I know that hold this right here. I want to release his hamstrings. So okay. Ooh. Right there just from that I'm releasing the stifles. You see that butt when I release those stifles? Whew, he went. Okay, I can stand up. So, I believe in stagnant energy. I believe that anytime you have trauma or other things, the negative energy can get in that fascia and create balled up muscle. But what it really is where the muscle is not getting proper circulation and it starts to dry out. And so when a muscle starts to dry out, it starts to contract and ball up. So I'm a big fan of just moving. I like to move the energy down the bladder meridian. And this is more Reiki. It's kind of like a hybrid. Because a lot of people do the bladder meridian and if you watch it, they push. And they're looking for pain. We know he's in pain. Okay? And right now, I don't have to pinpoint it. We all know it stems from here, and all of this is compensation. Look at him love me. He's like, so what I want to do is take this bladder meridian and just move all this negativity and all this stagnant energy. And then, now that I've released the hamstring and the stifle, now we can come here to the stifle, and we can just hold space for the healing. That is so important.
Susan's like, he's standing so much better. Make him feel better.
But just watch this horse's lips. I'm going to go on the other side and start to clear that stifle.
Hi, Spider. Don't stop. You're looking at me.
Look at those leaves.
Oh, I'm gonna fall.
So, anyway, it's just so important. And in this horse's shoulders, he's so tight. So right here, see how I can't get in there? I can't get in here. I can't get in there because these horses have been in their feet, and it's like they're traps. They've been standing like this, so you can't get in here. But you should be able to. So what you have to do is start to open this energy channel up, because you should be able to get down in here. You can come closer. You should be able to get down in here. Like, you should be able to get down in these shoulders. Feel how tight his is.
Good God.
Yeah, you can't get now. It's open compared to before. So what you're going to do is roll your fingers in there and just rock. Rock that muscle. There you go. Open that shoulder up. Open that energy flow up. Open that vortex. And I find that horses that have a lot of trauma, a lot of abuse, and feel very abandoned are very tight in there because their heart is hurt and it pulls those shoulders down. And you'll find a horse with tons of trauma, tons of like, I feel abandoned, I feel abused, neglected, will have both shoulders in a downward slip because they literally store all of that neglect and abuse from their heart in these muscles that they're pulling. Yep. Yeah, and then fold down. There you go. Now you're down in there. Yep. Now pick that foot up and extend it all the way forward to kind of open that up. There you go. There we go. Now then she's gonna hold it. There we go. And make space for that flexion. And pull this elbow. There we go. And then fold him and then take him back under. And what we're doing is just making space for positive energy to flow to start the healing. Good job. Oh my God, y'all can't tell me that is not some kind of... He is like, what is this? What is this? It's like just an immediate like, oh, I love that. Look at him now. He's like starting to like, oh, that feels good. Okay, other shoulder. And this shoulder is in a downward slip, and I am going to have to get the osteopath to put that back. But this is just a horse that feels neglected and abandoned. Like he was somebody's good one, and then to be thrown away. This is not a neglect or abandonment. This has been living here for over a year, and it's loved. Hims do be loving me. Look at this horse's face, and he's starting to... One thing is when you start to get the energy moving, I want you guys to see something. You'll see even on the TheraPlate, we'll see all this drainage, and it's not sickness. It's literally... This one was not as tight as the other. Get both hands in there. Rock that muscle. I have nails, so I worry. I need to take them off just for this. I really do. I love them, but this is more important. Don't let his eyes hurt your soul. That lip is starting to do its thing. This thing right here is releasing so much trauma and so much, like, I'm hurting. Is this love? This is love. This is love. I love you. I love you. But I'm a big animal abuser, and they're very sad here and neglected. He's lived here for over a year. I don't think nobody's ever been mean to Spider. Look, he's like that. I know. Right there, he said. Right there, right there. Jackie has really good hands. Her hands are really warmed up and healing. Like, she's touched me a couple of times and gone directly to places that I'm in pain. So Jackie is like such a good candidate to go learn about Reiki and to warm her hands up. And Tylen is really has, and I've never like really, I don't mean, so tell them how you did your arm. Last night somebody called me a liar because I told them that effort was ugly to you. And they were like, you're such a liar. You told us that she got run over. And I was like, no, they were pinning Triton and he ran into her in the gator and hurt her arm. The effort incident was completely separate.
No, effort.
This happened in the gator.
Yeah, for effort, I was almost on. Like, I was on him messing around and everything, and then I was just living on him on the other side, and I touched his problem spot, and he freaked out and he kicked me in the ankle, but that was
He kicked me in the ankle for no apparent fucking reason.
It was my fault, you know what I mean? Like, I touched him.
But is it really our fault? Like, how many horses do we have in here that you can touch them and they don't have a problem spot, where if you accidentally touch my problem spot, I'm going to bat you into yesterday?
But stuff happens, you know what I mean?
But the thing about effort is, but listen, but the thing about effort is, like, had you taken him to college with your age and worked with him, he would have been a fantastic prospect for you. So he's, for $5,000, the reason he's $5,000 and not $20,000 is because he has a problem area. And if you fuck up and touch it, he'll bat you into tomorrow.
But no, with my arm,
Not really, Karen.
communication or anything between Tyler
So,
and I.
yeah, everything in this barn, I own. So when I bring new horses in here, I'm not exposing my clients' horses who are sold. So if I feel like all of these we have vaccinated, what did we do? We vaccinated, floated teeth, tube wormed, and sheath cleaned everything in this barn. And if something comes in here and takes a bite of the hay or whatever, this horse has been here, that's on me because I own these and they're mine and I can do whatever the fuck I want with them. Now, my clients' horses that require full quarantine, the way we do those is we put them as far back as possible. That way they have zero chance of being exposed to anything incoming. Like, I wouldn't, like, pin 1 and 2 have a little bit of a chance of being exposed, but if we can't catch your horse, I have to be really honest with those clients and say, like, I'm so sorry, but there's no way we'll ever get your horse out of the pen. Like, unhalter broke stuff, things like that. They have to stay up here, and we just normally put them in pin 2 and do our best to just not expose them. But truthfully, everything in both barns, for the most part, I own outright. They're mine. If they get sick, that's on me. That's not your concern. It's nobody else's concern. It's my livestock that I own, that I paid my money for. So really, it's nobody's business. But since you ask, I'll be happy to tell you. But if we have a horse that has to be doctored and quarantined in a stall, they go in one of the first 3 stalls in this barn on the right, not on the left, because the horses in the runs obviously can touch each other. My pins do not touch. Every pin on the property has a gap. So what we do with client horses that have to be quarantined, they go on the C row. The back C row, there's 8 pins, and those 8 pins are strongly just for quarantine. And I do have my babies in the very back corner because their immune systems aren't quite as strong as a big horse. So what it does is it just prevents any incoming horses that may get loose if something were to happen from running to their pin and touching. So basically, again, let me reiterate, if you have a horse here in quarantine, it's been turned out on the C row. There's way more shade back there. Those pins are actually cooler. The grass is super luscious in those pins against the fence line where there's a lot of shade. And so we put the sold horses that have to be fully quarantined back there, and that's why. That way they just have less chance of exposure of any kind. So, you know, we try to do our best. And oh my gosh, he is walking so good. Hold on. Let's put this horse right here in the TheraPlate. Walk him out. Like, go. Like, this horse has been foundry walking, and I'm telling y'all, what I just saw was badass. Yes, sir. Look at him. Do y'all see him trying to step out? Don't get me wrong. Like, this horse is still stepping ginger, but at least now he's moving. Like, he's... Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I love that. That is better. I mean, I know it's ginger, but it's steps. It's steps. This is no painkillers, no nothing. This is steps. And I'm telling you guys, he has hopped on, put his butt under him and hopped out of that stall. Those are steps. All right. And you know what? Releasing all of this, what y'all see right here, I want y'all to see the drainage in the eyes and like where his nose is starting to run. What it does when we pull those shoulders forward where they've been in a downward slip, they've been putting a lot of pressure on his rib cage. And when you get those shoulders opened up, now you can see like when I come up here, like that horse is not hard there. Got that shoulder back mobile and moved forward. It also releases a lot of pressure off of the rib cage so the lungs can properly expand. And we'll see a lot of horses start to drain and cough. And it's not a sick cough. It is a just breather, like breathing a lot deeper and getting opened up. Yeah. All right. We can tootle him back in there. Those are steps. Those are steps. Those are steps. And they are still, I'm a little sensitive steps, but this is not a painkiller step because we're going to take him to the vet. So we don't want to have him on a lot of painkillers because we want to be really honest with the vet about where we are lameness wise. But like in the dirt, watch when it gets a little bit softer dirt right here. Go ahead with him. You can probably put him back up.
I'm gonna flip this one with that one.
Okay.
Put him on the Pia.
I would just be, yeah.
Yeah, he's a little tight turn. Right there.
Did we not? We already did him, didn't we? With the PEMF machine? Or we did him? Okay. No problem. That's why you get paid. That's why you get paid to do your job and I do not get paid to think. And this horse ground ties like a champion. I do love that. Jacob laughed and said he probably ground ties because he's too sort of move. And I'm like, shut up and just take it that I love him and he's a good boy.
I'm just doing
My pessimist.
for arbitrary reasons.
Oh no, I know, but I had him outside the other day and he ground tied so good. So Jackie and I will work on moving him and getting his energy broke loose. This horse is doing a lot better, but I think sometimes people want to see, like people want to do the bare minimum and see a sound horse. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, well, I want results yesterday for wiping his nose. That's right. And what I try to tell people is we have to be very, very clear that this is a 90-day rehab. This is a 45 to 60-day rehab. This is a 90-day rehab. This is probably going to be a little longer, and he's actually probably, this horse is sound now. This horse is going to be, because we've got to grow that foot out. The inside of that foot is not there. And as that foot grows out and we change the internal structure of that foot because it will start to heal and support the coffin bone better, we'll see some days that he might regress slightly. No, he's just very grateful to be not having as much pain. This horse was living in pain for sure before he came here.
Send it back just a little bit more.
Yeah. Yeah. He really needs it. I promise his back end, I think, is maybe as sore as his front end from the compensation.
Like 5 here and then
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we can. If it's set on 10, let him have 10, and then Emma can scoot it back.
what?
Emma can scoot it back. He's not going to move.
Okay.
This horse is going to be on 5 to 10 minutes on his shoulders. But when we get done with his shoulders, let me show you how he was asleep. I'm sorry, kid. I want to do this. Come back here, Emma. I want to do this where we pull these loops around because we really need to get right in here. And then I want to drop them and really wrap them around these hamstrings. And really right there is good. I think we should do 10 minutes here first. See all that inflammation? I mean, there's a lot going on back here. This is compensation from standing up underneath himself but see how now he's got his front end up under him, like he's standing better. See how he's more straight in the rear end and got his front feet up under him? He's just way, yeah. See, this is what I was saying right up in here is where I was really seeing it when I moved his energy.
Yeah.
And it's super moving. A lot of times when I go with my hands to move energy, I will see things that when we put the machine on them, it'll just reiterate like, yes, I mean, his sciatica is bouncing and the loops are not even on it. Like,
Oh, it's so down so low already.
he's what?
EMF's already so low.
Yeah, it's low. It's not high enough that he should be jumping like that, especially not where the loops are touching. He just has so much inflammation. I'm going to dial in just one quick up. yeah, I'm just trying to, I really kind of want to drive that Gauss deeper and get that moving. Squirt's so jealous. Squirt is so jealous. Sure, go ahead. Yeah. So a lot of times, is that the black horse on the machine? Yes, Karen, it is. Sometimes I feel like some of you mean well in your comments, but some of you guys make such, like, I don't know, you know, like, aren't you supposed to be quarantining? Are you bringing new horses in your barn? It's my barn and I can do whatever I want. Literally. And sometimes when you have just a question, you have to think to yourself, is that really my business? Like, do I own any horse on that property? Am I buying a horse in the next week? Is this going? If the answer is no, just remember. And as I open my barn and my life up to you, I open my staff up to you, I allow so much learning and just being a part of our life. You have to remember that I don't really owe an explanation for anything. And I just want to make that clear so that some of you are not offended when you realize that I think that your comments and your questions are just, and you can say, well, no, really, like, this is my private life and I own everything in here, including the Duders. I mean, that money was gifted to me to do as I please. And as you can see, I've done great things with it. And if you don't think what I did with it was great, then that's why you don't gift funds. I know. I noticed that just a minute ago, Leslie, that he cocked that foot because he's finally getting off of his rear end, being able to support himself in the front. Yeah, this is our Duder that came from Billings with the shoulder. And as you can see, he's standing with that right shoulder up under him. He's like, gives no shits. And that's our chakra flag behind the TheraPlate, and it was blessed by a shaman that does Reiki and shamanism and drums, and it was actually put in a singing bowl and had a sound bath done around it. So we keep it behind there so that when we put the horses on the TheraPlate, it has energy that starts to pull their chakras. You look at him, he's wanting to play with the flag. Y'all missed it. He was trying so hard to play with that flag. This horse is completely asleep. When I walked up there a minute ago, I scared the shit out of him. He was dead asleep. He is ready to go night-night. All right, you guys, send stars. Somebody just said something about a star party. I don't see it on my end, but you guys make sure you send stars. And I don't care what anybody says. If you follow another rescue and you love what they do, listen, I'm all for that. I can just tell you that there's very few rescues that do it my way, and that's okay. And that's why I created what I have, because I just like this. Oh, Karen just got herself blocked. Poor Karen. I believe she's the reason that people call it a Karen. And no, listen, there are horses shuffled all across this country every single day that have potentially been exposed to stuff And you know what I tell people? They're not spreading disease any more than people who travel all across the country are spreading disease. If you're concerned, go get your flu shot. If you're concerned, go get vaccinated for COVID. And if you don't believe in vaccinations, then put your mask on. And it's the same with horses. Everything in this barn has been vaccinated. We vaccinated them all. And if you don't believe in vaccination, guess what? Not my problem. Not my problem. But I am not concerned with anybody else's livestock. I have enough concern here. And what I'm going to do for mine is do everything we can to build their immunity so that they're happy, healthy. We start with their gut microbiome. We start with tons and tons of gut check and Succeed paste. And we just do everything that we can to increase the quality of their gut microbiome. Because as their guts get better, their immune systems get better. And I really feel like the sickness has been to a minimal here. Like, I really am super impressed. I haven't had strangles outbreaks. So obviously we're doing something right when you just don't see sickness rampant here. So anyway, at the end of the day, you be concerned with the livestock that you own at your house, Karen. So if you're concerned about disease spreading, then here's what you do. Don't take your horses that you own into public places, because I can tell you the sickest horses I've ever seen are at some of the most major performance horse events. In fact, I listened to a podcast the other day where a professional barrel racer talked about making 3 runs on her horse and he wasn't firing. So they took him in and scoped him, and I could play it right now and you can hear her say, well, I took him in and scoped him and come to find out he had strangles. And yeah, so he wasn't firing hard, but that horse was strangles positive and had been to 3 pro rodeos in the last 7 days with strangles. And she talks about it on a podcast. He had got it from a fairgrounds where they overnighted. And she said, like, he had, like, maybe 2 or 3 days she noticed after that, he was, like, lethargic. And they were giving him B12 and, like, but his immune system was so good, he was, like, fighting it, so it wasn't externally showing. But both guttural pouches were completely full. They did a swab. They tested it. It was strangles, and he was strangles positive, hauling all over the U.S. to PRCA pro rodeos. Yeah. So it is what it is. All right, you guys. Star Party. Make sure you buy stars right now. Oh. Well, here's the thing. I'm not vaccinated for COVID. COVID almost unalived me. It was awful. We're at 1,750 stars on the Star Party, you guys. We need some stars. Please send stars. Thank you, Nicole. Thank you, Nicole. And right now, stars are on sale. So let's try to get this Star Party way past. We have 1 minute and 30 seconds left. Let's get past that Star Party. Let's have a bigger goal, because listen, those stars help support our little rehab projects here.
Wet brushes are fine.
Yeah,
Like they fill up with water. Yeah.
They do what?
Wet brushes, like they fill up with water, and like brushing with like when the hair's wet or whatever.
Yeah.
I just haven't made them on the hands, but it's hard to get like knots out.
No, that's actually just probably one somebody sent for Tinley and it got put in here. Yeah.
That's what I figured.
Yeah, wet brush is not.
See this working on a horse.
Yeah. All right, you guys, 57 seconds to go. How many stars do we need?
10 stars, please.
Send stars, send stars.
Maybe I'll go ahead and pick up mom.
We need, how many stars, you guys? 30 seconds, and we need about 200 or 300 stars. Thank you, Beth. I appreciate it. We made it. Star Party achieved. Absolutely. It's amazing that the lady, she had been asking all kinds of questions that I could tell like were aggressive, but they, like, the energy portraying from her was kind of aggressive. And in the end, she was like, anybody with common sense would know it's our business that you're hauling hundreds of horses all across the country, spreading disease everywhere you go. Huh. And it's my fault, but not the people who took them to the sale barn. idiots.
never know what it was happening. Like, I
No.
either.
Tip is finally out of the house. He's such a wet blanket. If Tip could just get in her arms and be carried like a little baby.
He does.
He should have been a chihuahua.
does.
He should have been a chihuahua, though. He should not have been.
Oh, we could see Jack with. Oh, I could see Jack with the swallow. Never mind.
Tip should not have been that big.
Had one Pomeranian, and I'm like, that's it. And that little Pomeranian was
It's
badass.
beautiful. The hat color.
Oh, I love it. Wait, you have a little tiny firecracker ready wrapped by your ankles?
All right, you guys, can we get to 5,000 stars? Does anybody have a star pack? And remember, right now, this week, stars are on sale. So you can buy stars for so much cheaper. What are you doing to him?
He has a hot spot, so I'm checking it. What?
Bear's been getting hot spots, and I think it's because he's never eaten blue buffalo. And so Bear is now like literally getting hot spots. But he was like, we tried to put him on something before and he did that. So he literally does the best on Rachel Ray, and it is like not even.
That's surprising. He said he did blue and he got into blue. But you're gonna have to eat blue.
He said, listen, ma'am. This thing over here has so much personality, and he's like trying to get into everything. I love him. I'm like, Woody, what are you doing? Woody's like, well, Woody's starting to open up and all that's coming out. And then, but watch him. He is like, he's been trying to untie himself. Watch him. He's trying to slip his halter off.
I see.
He's smart, and he's trying to slip his halter off.
Yeah.
He's smart as fuck. This thing is really, really, really smart. I mean, he just vibrates on such a higher level than an average horse, and he's like trying to get his halter off, and
Eyeballs. He just knows. I'm gonna taste it out for
yep. Poor Tip.
He doesn't care that it's 100 and something degrees outside. Yeah, but mine too do. Yeah, I know, right? Okay, off. Let me go put this back.
Yep, him.
Yeah.
Yes, he's been pulsed. He's been vibrated. Right, he was on the TheraPlate. Okay, my brain is.
The other day, somebody's like, "Hey, I like that bay," and I'm like, "You gotta be more specific."
Yes. Which bay?
Which bay?
Which
Out of
bay?
the 60, which one?
He can go up, and we can bring the deuter to him. The horse outside, have we not pulsed him? What's he waiting on? No, I don't think he was
No,
pulsed.
that one, no, we have not pulsed him yet. We put him on the
Their
plate,
plate.
and then we swapped out.
So this horse can go there.
Yeah. Well, no, he can go up. He's been there.
Yeah, this horse can go there.
This
His
guy
stall.
can go right there.
Yeah. Yeah. So slingshot, dude. I love Rudy. Come on, Rudy. Here, I'll hold Rudy while you. Let me have Rudy. You can put slingshot up, and then Rudy can go. Ooh, Rudy is like, this is nice. I can buy these mats in black for the horses with bad feet stalls, and I thought about doing it, but it's so expensive, and I'm like, the money's just not there. But these mats right here, it takes 2 of them to put in their stalls so they can live on them. So we would have to have 6 of them, and they sell them in black, and they're $275 a piece in black, I believe. Maybe $325. I need to go back and look. But look how much pressure that takes off. So if anybody wanted to donate $2,500, and then I thought about it and was like, oh, it's so necessary but so expensive. Like, I would love to be able to do it, but yeah, we need 8 of them. What is 8 times like 300?
8 times 3 is 24, so
2,400.
4?
Yeah, 2,400. Yeah. Tip's a standard poodle. He goes down here. He's already been in there.
Yeah, he hasn't gone into there yet.
Not this. He can. He's been in there this morning, but he can go. No, it's okay. You can put him in there. It's fine. Yep. Go ahead. Yep. It's not going to hurt him to go twice. That's one thing that we can't. I mean, some of the therapies require an hour, and we never put him in there that long. You know, so. Yeah, push him up. Colic. They use the TheraPlate for 1 hour for colic.
Oh wow, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I've always heard put your horse in a bumpy trailer, like put your horse in the trailer
Yeah.
and go on a bumpy road. So that's
Yeah, we have some stuff that somebody sent. We have a couple of them, and we've saved 2 horses with the TheraPlate and the instant relief. We gave them instant relief, put them on the TheraPlate, and after about 45 minutes, both of those horses were saved and pooped. We couldn't get a vet out, and it was just awful. Yeah. I told her to just go ahead. She started him over there, and I thought he can't be on there too long, so we might as well. Man, when he stepped up here, I'm telling you, we do need to get these mats for the stalls for the horses with bad feet, because I'm telling you, when he stood up here, it was instant. All right, you guys, we're gonna. Yeah, the one that was trying to get out of his halter's name is Woodrow. And this is Rudy, and that is Slingshot, and that's Dude. I still love that he was trying to get out of his halter. He was like, I'm out of here. He's so smart. This horse doesn't know what to do. He's like, wait a minute, like, this is a lot for him.
It's like, y'all care? What's going on?
Yeah.
You're fucking.
All right, you guys, we're going to finish up in here and kind of get our day going. We still have horses to video. We only have 3, but we need to kind of get our day going. But I want you guys to kind of see what we do behind the scenes and meet the boys. So you all got to meet them, and we will talk to y'all later.